We're here in the old school in Inagh, and 50 years ago today, on the 1st of October 1974, the children of Gortbofearna School came down to Inagh School to form a central school here in Inagh. Their teacher, Flann Garvey, is here tonight with a few of those children from 1974. They're not children anymore, but they have a lot of memories, and we got together here tonight just to record a few of the memories, a few of the funny stories, a bit of what life was like in 1974 and what it was like coming from Gortbofearna, especially to come all the way down, the big long journey down to Inagh and so forth. So I'll hand you over to Flann Garvey. Flann, tell me, first of all, I'm going to ask you just how did it come by that the children from Gortbofearna had to come to Inagh School, or what was the history behind it?
In the 1970s, the government of the time, and they were a Fianna Fáil government, the Minister of Education was George Colley, and they had a policy of closing all two-teacher schools. And in Gortbofearna's case, the school was getting older and older and more run down. And the government of the department wasn't prepared to put any more money into such schools, so the writing was on the wall. And agreement came in time that the two schools would come together, and in October of 1974, 1st of October, that was the day the first group of the children from Gortbofearna came down here. And they came by bus. Some of them would never have been on a bus before, and I think some of them wouldn't have known where they were going. I think in particular, maybe Tommy McKee, I'd say, might never have been in Inagh before. He may not have been, because they went to Mass in Steinman or Clona. So it certainly would have been his first day on a bus, I'd say, and maybe his first time coming to Inagh. And I know Nora Hunley told me here that, Nora Cotter told me that when she got on the bus and it turned up past Gortbofearna School, she didn't know where she was going, because she hadn't been up that road before.
Yeah.
But a total of 110 children from Inagh and Gortbofearna came together on that day, and 5 teachers. 2 of whom had left us, Mrs. Keating last year, Mrs. Lennon some years before. Yep. But thank God we're still here 50 years later. The memories aren't very clear, but I remember clearly that morning being standing out there with the teachers and Father Ryan, watching the children coming off the bus. And they came and we welcomed them, and we began from there.
It was bad enough to have to come from Gortbofearna, but to meet yourself and Father Ryan was another ordeal. I'm sure. But I suppose like it was a big move back then. The world was a much smaller place. I from Kilnamone, I would have come to Inagh playing hurling and that, but apart from that, Kilmaley and Inagh were the only 2 places, and Innis was the only 2 places I would have gone to. Yeah. And it's very hard for young kids today to understand that, but that's how small the world was. There was no taxis. Mike O'Connor's, I suppose, was the taximan.
He was.
Yeah, Mike was carry. There was I think it was at Willie Kane's funeral, and they said Mike O'Connor's. Willie Kane took all the cattle to the market, and Mike O'Connor took whatever was left. I think Father Sexton said that, or worse to that effect. Yeah. But I'd ask you to ask a few of the lads there what are their memories of that. You know, when you were a young child, it was a big thing, I'm sure, to come down here.
Yeah. Will you say what you think of that day, or what you remember of that day?
Well, I remember of that day I was getting ready to come on the bus, because for me the school was next door. And we had no great preparation on the run down the road. But this coming on the bus meant a lot earlier. There was great apprehension about how we were going to be treated and what would happen when we arrived. But yeah, we were treated pretty well, greeted well, and mixed in nicely. Everything went on as it never happened after a week.
And there next door is Michael Collins' daughter.
That's right, they said Michael, yeah.
And I remember he had was a Coptine of a concept car.
Yeah.
The number was PIE 105. And he brought a busload of children from Mouse's Mills to Gortbofearna school every day.
Yeah.
He was gone by.
And she had the creamery can in the back and Penny Barron in the boot.
That's right, yeah.
When it came to children, I'm sure Michael made the law, but I think children were just thrown into the car. Numbers didn't matter. Because I can remember Tom Harvey arriving in Kildamona, and maybe our lad might have turned up. We'd be going to Rowan to a match, and the car would be full, and he'd throw another 4 or 5 of us in, and we headed off to Rowan to a match, with legs and arms everywhere.
Yeah.
But what did you think of the coming out here?
I can't honestly remember the first day now.
Yeah, don't you know? Yeah.
I was very young at the time, you know.
You must have been a toddler then, yeah.
I just remember then the big school, the big difference, you know, when we came here it was because we were so used to our own small group, you know.
Yeah.
So it took a while to adjust, alright, you know.
Yeah.
Which we got fine after a few months, it's like we were always here, you know.
Yeah. So do you want to move along to the Leinster?
Do you want to?
Very little. I have no memory at all of that first day. I have more memories of maybe 5th and 6th class.
Yeah.
I can't really that first day. Maybe we were a novelty to the Inagh people here. But apart from that, I have no memory.
Yeah. There was a shop at Willie Max, I'm sure, at the time, probably a shop at Joe Layden as well. That would have been a bit of a bonus maybe for moving down, because there wasn't a shop in Gortbofearna, I suppose, at the time. Or was there? Or was there? Is that right? I didn't know that.
Did we get a bus then? I can't. You know, maybe that. Well, if that was the case, that was my first time on a bus too.
Every child was guaranteed free travel to school.
At that stage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why I had to walk to school, but anyway, that's another day's work. That was something the government brought in at the time, that the school bus was the big thing. Yeah. And it saved a lot of hardship, like some people actually cycled for miles or walk for miles to come to school from that time.
What they did,
We were walking as very young kids to Gortbofearna.
Yeah. So that was 2 miles.
And being pulled and dragged and pushed and lying on the road and being picked up and threatened and all that.
In hail, rain or whatever, like you see, you had to go to school, that was it, moving along for them.
I remember getting off the bus here in the car park, and it was right getting off, I heard the kettle that just ran. And a sister-in-law said to me one time, she had been in the school, she said just the top, I heard a kettle coming from the mountains.
You weren't that bad.
I knew you were anyway, but I suppose because we came from such a rural school, you know, and just we had our own little friends and whatnot, and I suppose we enjoyed the Gortbofearna, and then to come down here to such a big school, as we thought, because we were so young, and we just got on with it.
You just had that, and that was it. You had to get on with it. But was there a sense that it brought people more together? I suppose the community between the, Gortbofearna coming more into Inagh, making more friendships and all that. Did you find that when you were going to school?
It took us a while.
Yeah.
It took us a while because we all knew each other, because we were all neighbours. We were both in Gortbofearna, and we all knew each other, and we started that. And then when we come down here, then it took us a while to get used to the new.
Get used to the accents and everything. I suppose when you think of today and you think of there's children coming from all corners of the world now, what a big thing it is in their lives to try and come into a place where they can't even speak the language. And I suppose we need to sort of understand that as well, like that back then it was a big move, and there's people transiting all over the world now, coming to Ireland and getting a very good welcome from people as well. Like so.
At that time, Nicholas, too, there was fierce rivalry between Gortbofearna and Inagh schools.
Yes.
We were kind of known as the Balliers, and people referred to Gortbofearna school as Ballier school. But we were kind of regarded as second-class citizens. For example, no child from Gortbofearna school served mass here in Inagh.
Right,
Just one people wouldn't know, wouldn't remember now. And
yeah. But that was the times, I suppose, a small world, and obviously anyone that was outside of the pale sort of were treated that way. Maybe that was the way it was, you know.
Yeah.
But then coming down, when we came down to school, then everybody started asking like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After we were in school here, we certainly short.
Yeah, but you gelled well together, and
oh yeah.
you know.
That was one of the reasons I came down the year before from Gortbofearna was the teachers here had retired and the principalship was open. And I knew the game was up in Gortbofearna, even though I hated that because it's right in the corner of my own land. I could walk to school, outside of the school, it was lovely. But I wanted to make sure that I was the boss here in this way, to make sure that every child was treated equally. And they were.
Yeah.
And all the stuff of Ballier versus Morris's versus Inagh, that all went.
And
there's no talk of any difference whatsoever nowadays.
Yeah. Well, peace is broken out throughout the land now because Inagh and Kildemone are heading for a county semi-final together. So, yes. And we've come a long way since 1974. Yeah.
No one has a very easy story about one of the bus.
Una, tell us.
Yeah, I'd say I was only probably a year and a month done in Gortbofearna, I think anyway. I'm not in that picture, so, and people seem to be younger, or the youngest in that picture are all a year older, so I think it was, and Tommy was in my class in Gortbofearna and Cullen. But the day we left Gortbofearna, I remember getting on the bus and the bus was heading right. I never went right. I don't think, it could have been my first time ever in a bus, I'd say. Because I do remember coming to school across the fields. Back in your place. I don't ever remember a bus. No, maybe I did, I don't know. But anyway, that day that we came to Inagh, the bus was going right. Life was frightening me, I thought that was it. I didn't know where this right was, but I'd never again be heard of. But we arrived here anyway.
You got here anyway.
Yeah, and then we were in the same class and it was just, yeah. And I always remember it just, we all got on. There was never any, you know.
Yeah.
No one has it.
No.
Patricia, what did you think of this invasion when you were going to school?
I don't remember it, to be honest. I obviously didn't go to Gortbofearna because I was in Inagh, and there's a few memories from Inagh. My first one was starting Kogi in third class. I always had that. And as Noel mentioned about the bus, we never had a bus either. We had to walk up and down to Ballybeg. That was 2 miles, 4 miles every day. It was only later in the years that the bus came,
We'd
have to get off at 2:45 in order to be down
to get the bus.
Road to get the bus. Tom Harvey used to drive it.
Tom, you get a fast spin home, so. So.
Patricia's only brother, Tony, and her older sisters, they were here.
That's right, yeah, there would have been,
Would he have been gone in 74? He would have been just gone in summer. To secondary school. Yeah.
Was there ever any talk of Inagh coming?
No.
That was never a part of it, no?
No.
Yeah. So Inagh had good numbers down there, obviously,
that
and they've maintained it in the 2 schools now in the parish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the 2 lads here?
The boys.
Blessed Archie.
I don't remember the first day coming down. I remember them going on. We stayed together. There was a group there was 3 of us that used to stay together for a good while. But we mixed in with the
Irish.
That was safety in numbers. But what was the? Did you play hurling like at lunchtime and that kind of stuff, or what was the?
We did. Until the owner of the land, J.J. Keating and myself had a kind of a stand-up round one day. I was very keen on having a long playtime at lunchtime when we went into a hurling game or a football game, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I suppose this day anyway, J.J. was out there near the gate when we came down after break time, and he kind of gave out to me about abusing the field, we call it. And anyway, we differed, and we said the following. He said to me, "Why didn't you stay over in Gortbofearna?"
Oh gosh.
Which I said to him immediately, "Why didn't you stay below in Kilnamona?" Because that's where he came from.
Right.
And I knew that. But that was the end of it. From there on, we played outside in front of the school or down the car park. That was it. There was no field from there on.
Yeah. Like I can remember hurling in JJ's field. Yeah. I remember we were foolish enough to take, I was in Kilnamona, we were foolish enough to take you on the game of football. I don't want to go through that again anyway. I won't repeat what happened that day, but we were well beaten anyway.
There was sports days in the field though, wasn't it?
There was sports over here at Father Ryan's place, Father Welch's or Father Ryan's, as it became later.
All right.
Father Precious now, that field there, was sports there.
Yeah.
I remember hurling in Jage's field. Down by the river. Was that with the club or the school?
Just with the school.
I'd say it was the club.
Club as well, yeah.
Could be either or now.
Yeah, I think so.
But
But there's been sports every summer.
That's right, yeah.
Father Welch's field, as it was called at the time.
Yeah, Leyden's Field in. I remember training in Leyden's Field when you were over us there in the underage. When did that come into play? Or that was never for the school, was it?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. The school never trained up there, did it?
No.
Yeah.
I think we stayed teams when I was in Gymnastics Field or
Yeah.
That was a couple of years later.
Colin, what was your, can you remember your first day?
It wasn't the first day, but it was in the time before everyone else moved down. We were down for a month when there was Vahans and the Cudahies, and used to drive us down about 15 minutes inside the car.
Yeah.
And we'd all pile in whatever way, and then, you know, we'd leave in the evening, and I used to sit in the front seat with Dan Vahan, and as we turned the corner up to Morrison Mills, you must have been late for something, because we turned right, my door opened, I bounced out onto the road, leaving Dan then to have the job. My father, I knew what he said. He said, Master Garvey, I think Column's after falling out the door.
Yeah, but I suppose then Inagh School has been good to the whole parish, like, and it has been a great place to grow up in Inagh, and the school and the community, the sports, the hurling, the camogie. Some of the lads are playing football now. Everything, like, it's. I often think of where I was born, and this is an area where I was born, only a couple of miles down the road. We were so lucky as children to be born into where people really cared about everybody else and looked out for everybody. We were coming home from school and we often got lifts from neighbours. We didn't have a bus actually, but at the time I was going to school, but we got lifts and we got looked after. Neighbours gave cabbage, whoever had cabbage, give neighbours the next, or the pig was killed and whatever, like. And it just seems a different time. I don't know what it's like going to school now, but I know in the era that she went to school, I went to school at the same time, and people were just really caring people, like. And we had the odd rows, you said, like, and everything, but at the end of the day we were all together, like, you know. And I think that was the great thing. Inagh is a great community. You can see that spirit every time. There's been sad days here, but there's been great days here. We had the McCarthy Cup here only recently. The whole parish came together to celebrate that. Patricia, your son, was one of the guests of honours that day, having won in All Ireland a few days before. So, you know, and we have all stars in the parish. We have everything in this parish. We have people who've gone to all corners of the world, and they have been successful, and they are a success today as well. Like, and I remember when I was in London, I spent 14 years in London, and the local line lads here, Peter Devitt, Martin Lairton, and all them boys, Joe Keaton, all them. It was great to have them. We had great fun. I won't tell you what we did, but we had. So, you know, that's the spirit of this place, like.
Patricia here is unusual. I repeat it again. She's the only mother in Clare who has a Camogie All-Ireland club medal in her pocket.
That's right.
And her son has an All-Ireland senior medal to come. He will get it. but it's great. And looking around here, some of these were the beginning of camogie in the parish. In 1977, 3 years after amalgamation, and they were fantastic. They were fantastic. We ourselves and Clonard and Kilmorny came together in '77 for a schools competition, and we won it. And we won it for the next 3 years as well. We had 4 in a row. We were beaten by Kilkishan, I remember the following year, but we won it for 3 in a row after that again. Yeah. But that's where the St. Flannan's Camogie at the time came together. And it was all training. There was no press-ups or gym stuff and so on. It was above and lanes inches, we called it. It was hammered and tongs and belting the ball up and down the field and all bits of games. That was it. But I want to pay tribute to these stars of the past, and to say that the Patricia came along, well, not 40 years, but 40 years later for sure. And she played way back in the 11 winning team of 2011. And as I said to people, and she wasn't the worst in my family, that's for sure. Great record.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hands up who missed their school days.
I do.
You do, of course. But Flann, it's great that you got these lads together. Obviously everybody couldn't come here, but it's great to remember these things that happened in the parish and the history of the parish. It's great to record it, and it's great to have it and to talk about things in the past. And I often come in here and I look at the pictures, I can think, I remember Leyden's wins now as exactly that way. I remember being up there with my father years ago, like, and great memories, and Conor Leyden's there as well, like, and you know, I live here now, like, I mean, I have the best neighbours up there, and I really mean that with all sincerity. But if you need a hand, they'll all come, like, you know, so it's a great place to live.
Yeah.
So, do you want to finish up there, Flann?
Just to say, it's great to have these past groups together. One thing we have in common is we know we're all over 21. Maybe a little bit more than that. But it's great to be alive 50 years later, you know. And even though the memories aren't as clear as they were 50 years ago, it's great to have a bunch of these people come together just to chat about the past and look forward to the future. And in 2027, you'd be live for anyway, I don't know what be, but that'll be 50 years of the Camogie first win. And that should be a good time to celebrate too.
Absolutely.
So if I'm not there, I hope you celebrate without me.
I'm sure you'll still be here, Flann, and we look forward to it. And thanks to everyone, great to see you all here. And I'd say there's still tea in the pot, so we'll chat on.
And it's just hot enough for them. I'm going to have more myself.
Very good. Okay, thanks very much. Thanks.